One thing I've seen a lot is a disconnect in the sales and warehouse processes in businesses that I've spoken to over many years now. And it's partly due just to the intense paper-based nature of the process, right? So what I normally see is that we'll make a sale, the sales order gets printed out, popped into an out tray, and then it sits in the out tray for a while. Somebody takes it to the warehouse, they pick, pack, ship, scribble all over it with what they've picked and packed, and maybe scribble down serial numbers and things like that. Then they bring it back, and then it's all invoiced, and the job's all done. Now, we have a solution to that in Toolemu that we call outbound shipments. And the way that it basically works is by allowing us to generate a request for the warehouse called a shipment or an outbound shipment to go and have them go and pick and pack the product. So I'll show you how it works. So first of all, here's our list of sales orders. Now, I have here a couple of sales orders. Sales order S118. I'll go and click on that one. And it's for some cocoa powder. Now that's for Fudd Enterprises, ordered by Elmer Fudd. So as a salesperson wanting to now say, okay, time to go, let's get this shipped, what I would do is I would hit the button and I would choose Generate Shipment. What that's done for me is it's generated shipment number 156. Now, all of our outbound shipments live in this area here. And so the idea is you cut down the access to this menu. So you give the people in the warehouse a computer or a tablet, and they access just this outbound shipment menu here. And they can go and they can filter by everything that's to be picked, or at least hasn't been shipped, and see the list of them there. So here's the one we just did, Fudd Enterprises. And the idea now is that they can go and produce any documentation that they need. So delivery docket or a picking list or a new stock label. They can pick, they can pack, and they can ship. So in this case, we've ordered 50 kilos of coffee powder. We can see here that it's not asking us for any serial or batch numbers. We'll do another sale in a minute and we'll show you how that works. And so basically what we can do is we could go in, we could choose the courier. So we've got customer pickup by default. Let's go with couriers, please. We don't have any services defined, that's okay. We can pop in the code number and we hit the save button. Now what we can do is we can mark as picked, mark as packed, and finally, when we mark as shipped, just watch up here, mark as shipped. And what that's done for us is it's actually automatically sent an invoice or created an invoice for what we've picked. So we had the sales order that said 50 kilos, we've picked, packed, and shipped it, and it's auto-generated an invoice, and that can now automatically go across the accounting system and be automatically emailed to the customer as well. Now you'll notice that I went through markers picked, markers packed, markers shipped. We don't have to do that. If I go back to the main outbound shipment list again, let's go and grab up another one. In fact, let's just do another one. So what we'll do is we'll simulate an order. We'll go new order and we'll grab Bugs Bunny. So this will be the salesperson taking the order. We'll order a coffee machine. And it's saying here, look, there's a serial number and none have yet been provided. Now what we'll do, I could provide it here if I wanted to go and have a specific serial shipped. I don't. So what I'm going to do is as a salesperson, I'm going to hit generate shipment. My work is now done. Now, if I look again in outbound shipments, I can see Bugs Bunny Cafe. There's a shipment 157 to be picked. And so what we can do is we can go in here. Now this time, because it's serial tracked, I'm going to click here and I'm going to go and I'm going to select a serial number. So I've got to pick the product off the shelf. I've got the serial number and I've chosen the one that I'm sending, and that's it. Now this time I'm not going to go through the markers picked, markers packed, markers shipped. You don't have to do that. You can just hit the button that says markers shipped. And it's gone and generated the invoice for us automatically, and that can go across to the customer. So this is a deceptively simple part of Toolemu, but it's one of these things that just makes it nice and easy because the sales team can go, they can generate an order, and you can see here we've got Smith and Deli portal demo. So this is simulating, or in fact, it's one that I've done before. This is an order that I've sent through from the customer portal. So the customers place this order themselves. The shipment status is not shipped. Now, ordinarily, we've got some credit issues here, but for the purposes of this, I shall go and just hit generate shipment. It's made my shipment for me automatically. And so I can take a look here. I can see that it's to be picked and packed. It's neither serial nor batch tracked. And so I can mark that as shipped. And so the idea here is, let's imagine you have the customer portal set up inside Tall Emu. All of those orders will all drop here into the sales orders, over the evening, over the weekend, throughout the course of the day. If you've got WooCommerce or Shopify set up, the same thing's going to happen. And as your team enter orders, they all go into this central spot. So all of the orders sit here. We can see their status as to whether or not they're invoiced, whether or not they're shipped by clicking on them or by showing the columns that we want in the grid. And then we can go, if I click back into the sales order now, I can look at the shipment. Now, this is quite neat because if I were to go and order, 10 of those coffee machines or something like that, I could part ship. I could ship 5 of them. You can have multiple shipments as suggested by this grid here, coming off of a single sales order. So it actually also gives us the ability to go and track and manage our back orders as well. It really is quite a neat and straightforward process that should really help you streamline the pick, pack, ship and keep all of your data in sync.